All right, so I think I want to check out this video called Downfall of James Corden by Inside Flick. Now, this is a new guy. I've never heard of this guy before, but this was in my recommendations list. Somebody recommended this to me via email, so we're going to check this out. The thumbnail is looking fire, by the way. No pun intended. Yeah, dude, James Corden, man, he has like one of the worst reputations in comedy. He's so boring, and his jokes are so dry, and this guy's just a freaking asshole. I've heard horror stories already of how he treats people outside the job, and even when the cameras aren't rolling, how he treats the audience. But anyway, let's check this video out. All right, this is the downfall of James Corden by Inside Flick. Let's check it out.
CBS took a shot on a guy who was just an unknown British actor at the time in 2015. 8 years later, from when the show ended in 2023, James Corden was a success in the CBS space, racking in 1.43 million viewers on a nightly basis, turning the Late Late Show into a global cultural phenomenon. At his pinnacle, his celebrity interviews gave us tons of unforgettable memories. His carpool karaoke videos brought in billions of views.
Yeah, I think the carpool karaoke was a really good idea, but then it got like exposed for being fake. Like they had the thing that he wasn't actually driving the car. It was like on a trailer or something being driven by another car hooked up to it. And then it got exposed, and then he went on his show like a freaking pussy, and he just said like he was literally trying to justify it, and it was really so cringe to see. I forget what episode that was, but it was really cringe to see him trying to justify that.
From doing
but carpool karaoke is definitely what made James Corden famous.
Interviews with Kim Kardashian, to singing in the car with Adele in One Direction, to joking every night with the biggest stars in the world. You couldn't escape him. Corden was everywhere, from winning awards and accolades to staring in box office hits. Now imagine that same star accused of yelling at his staff, stealing jokes, and leaving a trail of anger with his fiery temper whenever the cameras weren't rolling. This isn't a script. It's the story of James Corden, the British charmer who conquered America until his smile couldn't hide the storm behind it. Corden was born on August 22nd, 1978 in Hillingdon, Greater London, and raised in Haslemere, Buckinghamshire, the son of Margaret, a social worker, and Malcolm Corden, a musician in the Royal Air Force, who later sold Christian books. He grew up with two sisters, Andrea and Ruth, in what he would later describe as a glorious family environment.
Yeah, this is some good research by this guy, because I didn't know any of this. I've seen a lot of videos on James Corden. I didn't know any of this backstory. So yeah, this is really good research so far.
As a teenager, he played the cornet in a Salvation Army band, indicating an early connection to performance. But he did not initially set out to be a celebrity. His dreams were modest, and he simply loved entertaining. Corden attended the—
Oh my God, look at that emo. He's got the emo look. What is this? Man, maybe back in the day he was funny, but he's just become a snob. Like in recent times, I think he's done now. I don't think they do the Late Late Show with him anymore. I'm not sure though. But yeah, I mean, it's kind of crazy that he worked his way from Britain to America to that level of fame. But he's just like, maybe he'll explain in the video, but it's just terrible how he treat like this one restaurant worker. From this Reddit post, like Ask Me Anything or Reddit AMA thing. Maybe he'll talk about this. We'll see.
Jackie Palmer Stage School in High Wycombe alongside future Oscar winner Eddie Redmayne, and he discovered his passion for entertaining at age 4 when he misbehaved at his sister's christening in church, causing laughter and realizing the power of making people laugh. He made his first TV appearances in small roles in British television shows in the late 1990s and early 2000s, including Boys Unlimited in 1999 and Fat Friends from 2000 to 2005. But for much of this period, he struggled to find consistent work and would sometimes go months without a paycheck. His first significant break came in 2000 with a recurring role in Fat Friends, where—
Oh my God. I'm not even going to comment on this.
he played a lovable, though flawed character, showcasing his acting chops and taste for comedy. Despite this, he still faced long stretches without roles, often feeling he was on the brink of being forgotten, until the pivotal moment when he co-created and starred in Gavin and Stacey in 2007.
I've never seen
The show,
Gavin and Stacey.
which he co-wrote with Ruth Jones, centered on the long-distance relationship between Gavin from Essex and Stacey from Wales, and featured Corden in the role of Smithy, Gavin's childhood friend whose brash exterior masked a big heart. Gavin and Stacey was an unexpected phenomenon in the UK, resonating with audiences for its heartfelt portrayal of everyday life and its warm, unpretentious humor that bridged cultural divides between England and Wales. Critics and viewers alike praised the show's fresh take on relationships, family dynamics, and regional identities, and it became a commercial and cultural landmark in British television, winning multiple awards. This success
I didn't know anything about the show, to be honest.
Corden into stardom in the UK. He suddenly found himself hosting major events like the Brit Awards in 2009, appearing on popular panel shows, and becoming a regular feature of comic relief segments. In the wake of Gavin and Stacey, Corden's star power soared, earning him acclaim as a down-to-earth talent who had made it through perseverance and likability.
Yeah, dude, what happened, man? Because, like, he's not funny at all to me. Is it just me? Or is James Corden just not funny? And I don't know what the appeal is, but I don't think his jokes are funny at all on the Late Late Show, at least from what I've seen there. And he's not down to earth at all, dude. Okay.
And many admired his gratitude and relatability. He was seen as a regular guy, a Brit who had started in modest circumstances and achieved success through talent rather than connections. And fans felt they were rooting for him as much as he was rooting for them. However, signs of a shift began to emerge as fame changed him.
What happened?
A fact he later hinted at in his 2011 autobiography, May I Have Your Attention, Please? Where he admitted he began thinking he was more of a dude, suggesting a growing ego. Friends and family noticed changes too.
Yeah, dude,
Rob Brydon,
that's what happened. Like the fame got to him, and he just his ego grew out to uncontrollable proportions, and that's what made this guy the most hated person in comedy.
a fellow actor, allegedly confronted Corden about his newfound attitude, and his mother and sisters warned him repeatedly, "Don't be a dick." Despite these warnings, he continued to receive prestigious opportunities, such as hosting Comic Relief in 2009 and earning screen time for charitable work, which reinforced his value in the industry and possibly spurred overconfidence. Yet, not all his post-Gavin and Stacey ventures were successful. He faced notable setbacks that revealed cracks beneath the polished exterior. In 2009, Corden's sketch show with Mel Smith, Horn and Corden, was met with universal panning from critics and audiences, leading to its swift cancellation after poor ratings. Then, in 2010...
Oh my god, no. Oh no, I hate this. Oh my god, I hate this. Oh, this is so cringe. The guy that plays the guy in the X-Men movie. Why am I forgetting his name? But the speech, and then he just becomes such a snob on stage, and okay, let's just play it. It's just bad. It's really bad.
Of the Year awards, he had an onstage confrontation with Sir Patrick Stewart after...
That's it, Sir Patrick Stewart. I'm so blanking on his name.
Stewart criticized Corden's attire and demeanor, saying Corden looked like a child who had raided his father's wardrobe. Stewart's comments prompted Corden to go on the offensive, refusing to accept criticism and snapping back that Stewart was older and should show him respect. A response that many found defensive and off-putting, given Stewart's stature as a respected actor. The exchange took a more personal turn when an awkward remark about Corden's weight surfaced, leading audiences to gasp at the unexpected hostility from someone who usually presented as good-natured. Despite the missteps, Corden remained...
Yeah, dude, that was a train wreck, and I thought it was fake at first, but Sir Patrick... Why am I blanking on his name again? He kind of egged him on. He kind of egged James Corden on a bit, but you can't get upset about being called fat if you literally played in the Fat Friends... What was it called? Like, come on, dude. Are you serious? Are you serious? You literally played in a Fat Friends TV show. And yeah, he just completely disrespected a well-respected actor. It was just terrible.
Demand in the UK. He
in
joined the
front of
panel
everybody.
on A League of Their Own, a popular Sky One sports comedy show where his rapport with fellow panelists cemented his reputation as a versatile entertainer. In 2012, he starred in the Tony Award-winning play One Man, Two Governors, which transferred from London's West End to Broadway, earning him a Tony Award for Best Actor in a Play and critical praise for his physical comedy and timing. These successes reaffirmed his ability to
He's
draw
just it's just fueling his ego, man.
and showed that despite some public snafus, his career was still ascending. In September 2014, CBS announced that James Corden would replace Craig Ferguson as host of The Late Late Show.
And there it
A
is.
decision that surprised many who asked who when they first heard his name. Corden went to Los Angeles ostensibly to pitch a sitcom, but CBS executives instead offered him a talk show, a path for which he had zero experience, prompting him to admit he felt totally unqualified for the role. Craig Ferguson, his predecessor, was beloved for his unscripted, authentic style. He famously bantered with Jeffrey the Dinosaur Skeleton and made offbeat jokes.
I've never seen the original Late Late Show.
In stark contrast, Corden brought a polished British charm, lean on improvisation, to a format that required quick thinking and authenticity skills he had not yet proven in the American late-night landscape. Nevertheless, Corden made an effort to present himself as humble and grateful in his debut, emphasizing that he viewed this as a fresh start and was eager to entertain audiences without arrogance. From the outset, Corden differentiated himself from traditional American talk show hosts by adopting elements from British shows like The Graham Norton Show, where multiple guests sit together and banter in a relaxed ensemble atmosphere, rather than sitting in separate chairs. His biggest innovation, however, was recognizing how young audiences consumed content through, social media clips that could be shared on YouTube, Twitter, and Facebook.
Yeah, he really went on with that.
Prioritize segments that would go viral online. That insight gave birth to Carpool Karaoke, a simple yet brilliant concept where Corden and a celebrity guest drive around singing each other's songs while chatting candidly.
Yeah, and not only was it good for like James Corden with the Late Late popularity expanding the reach of that, but it was great for any artist that, I mean, they're already famous, but they expand the reach even further by going on the Carpool Karaoke show. It would massively expand the reach of the artist in the car, like for sure. It was a win-win.
Although the idea originated from a comic relief sketch featuring George Michael, the first official Late Late Show Carpool Karaoke was with Mariah Carey in late 2015, which garnered millions of views, but it was the January 2016 episode with Adele that truly exploded, racking up over 60 million views at the time.
Jesus, yeah, that was huge.
The segment as a cultural phenomenon. In that episode, Adele amused viewers by rapping to Nicki Minaj's Monster and teased a bit of self-deprecating humor, while Corden hung on every word, perfectly playing the role of the enthusiastic friend. This combination of seeing celebrities in casual, vulnerable moments and the spontaneous feel of singing along in a car resonated deeply with audiences.
Yeah, because like everybody just drives in the car and sings to their favorite songs on the radio or with a CD in the car while they're on the way to work or whatever. And having these celebrities who ordinary people would think are on this high platform that they can't reach, have them in a basic, car setting, literally really relates with the audience. It's a really good idea.
Viewers felt a sense of authenticity and fun that was rare on late night television. Corden and CBS executives were lauded as visionaries for understanding that the future of television was not confined to the TV screen. It was digital and shared across platforms. Encouraged by this success, Corden rolled out other viral segments, including Spill Your Guts or Fill Your
That
Guts,
one was pretty good too.
Celebrities must answer a difficult question or eat gruesome foods like pig's blood curd and Drop the Mic, a rap battle between celebrities, both of which regularly garnered tens of millions of views.
Yeah, the bits were really good, but he's just bad.
Celebrities lip-syncing Broadway show tunes at crosswalks, blending humor with nostalgia and creating shareable moments that reached viewers far beyond the live audience. Through these digital-first strategies, his YouTube channel soon boasted millions of subscribers, and the cumulative views on his viral clips frequently surpassed the ratings of the show's traditional TV audience, signifying a seismic shift in late-night entertainment. As his profile grew, Corden became the go-to host for major award ceremonies, hosting the Tony Awards in 2016 and 2019, and the Grammy Awards in 2017 and 2018. Showcasing his musical talents and cementing his reputation as a versatile entertainer. Celebrities and producers saw him as a cheerful, non-threatening choice whose British charm could add a unique flair to award shows. And his ability to sing and dance live on stage further endeared him to audiences. At the same time, Hollywood roles began to pour in. He made cameo appearances in films like Ocean's 8 and voiced animated characters in Trolls.
I didn't know he was in Ocean's 8
movie and Peter Rabbit, further broadening his reach and visibility. Within 3 years of his move to the US, he'd gone from a relatively unknown British actor to an omnipresent force in American entertainment, revered by fans for his positivity and comedic flair. His public image was that of a cheerful, singing, dancing...
Oh my god, dude. Cats was an absolute disaster. Even he didn't like it. I think he said in an interview he hated it. That was like, dude, that just basically ended his career, to be honest. The Cats movie. It was just fucking ridiculous.
Man, someone who simply loved performing and wanted to make people happy. A narrative that millions of viewers embraced and believed.
Please talk about the restaurant.
As his fame soared, cracks in the facade
and the Reddit AMA
appearing more frequently. Even during his TV appearances, occasional slip-ups and missteps hinted at a potential arrogance or lack of empathy. One early warning sign was the Spill Your Guts episode featuring traditional Asian foods like balut, duck embryo, and pig's blood curd. Viewers and food aficionados criticized the segment as culturally insensitive and borderline racist, igniting debates on social media. In April 2016, during an interview on Jimmy Kimmel Live, host Jimmy Kimmel asked Corden to name camera operators who regularly work behind the scenes. Corden awkwardly paused, stuttering, and then blamed...
Yeah, I remember. This is the difference between an excellent talk show host and a terrible one. Conan O'Brien knows the names of every one of his employees, including the interns. Has regular conversations with them. James Corden doesn't know the names of his cameramen. It's ridiculous. That's the difference between an excellent one and a terrible one.
Having a different crew tonight, revealing his disregard for the essential crew members who make the show possible.
Yeah.
This seemingly trivial moment resonated with many who saw
really
it
should have
as
studied.
Emblematic of a larger problem. A lack of appreciation for the often invisible people who ensure Corden's success.
Yeah,
In
he
October
doesn't respect the people that make up
at the AMF
the show
AR
for
Gala in Los Angeles, just days after sexual assault allegations against Harvey Weinstein had dominated headlines, Corden made jokes about Weinstein's scandal, quipping that Weinstein had already asked Tonight up to his hotel to give him a massage and mocking the idea of watching Weinstein in hot water. Rose McGowan, one of Weinstein's accusers, called Corden a on Twitter, and Asia Argento, another accuser, tweeted, "Shame on this pig," and everyone who grunted with him, signaling that Corden's attempt at humor was deeply hurtful and tone deaf. Corden issued a public apology saying he intended to shame the abuser, not the victims. But many found this insufficient, and CBS was urged by some critics to donate to women's charities to atone for the perceived insensitivity. By 2019, Corden's attempts to connect with fans backfired spectacularly. In May of that year, he participated in a Reddit Ask Me Anything session.
Oh, yes. Oh, thank you, dude. You're actually bringing it up. Yes. Thank you.
Carpool karaoke special, but the thread was flooded with accusations of bad behavior. Users posted comments calling him massively entitled, recounting stories of him yelling at staff.
This is it. Yes, James Corden was at Balthazar with his wife on October 9th for brunch. He asked for a table outside. Took the party table. Okay, where is it? A few minutes after they received the food, James called their server MK and told her there was a little bit of egg white mixed with the egg yolk. MK informed the floor manager G the kitchen remade the dish, but unfortunately sent it home with fries instead of salad. Oof. That's when James Corden began yelling like crazy to the server, "You can't do your job! You can't do your job! Maybe I should go into the kitchen myself and cook the plummet." MK was very apologetic and brought G over to the table. He returned the dish after that. Everything was fine. He gave them promo champagne glasses, smoothed things out. G and said that Corden was pleasant to him but nasty to the server. Yeah, what a suck up. MK was very shaken, but the professional that she is continued to finish her shift. Dude, what a fucking L for this guy, man. He's a fucking douchebag. Anybody who gets angry at a service worker, a person who works in the service industry, should be ashamed of themselves. Okay, I've worked in the service industry before. It's fucking terrible. Okay, and anybody who complains to a service industry worker should be ashamed of themselves, and they're a douchebag and they're a fucking idiot.
Accusing him of being aggressive and threatening and demanding
what a pompous bastard.
ever considered being funny or likable. Some even begged Reddit to bring back Craig Ferguson, showing that Corden's charm did not extend to everyone. Corden answered only 5 questions before abandoning the session, leaving many to speculate that he could not handle the criticism.
Yeah, he can't handle
or
critique,
that he was
man.
unwilling to address the allegations honestly. The same year, writer Jack Allison claimed in a tweet that Corden had shown up alone to a Writers Guild of America meeting to advocate for pay cuts, refusing to bring staff who write for him, suggesting he did not value their contributions. Although Corden defended himself by saying he thought 80% staff attendance was sufficient, Allison's story further tarnished Corden's reputation, indicating a pattern of dismissive treatment of his own team. The negativity surrounding Corden's behavior permeated his Hollywood roles as well. In 2019, he starred as Bustopher Jones in Tom Hooper's film adaptation of Andrew Lloyd Webber's Cats, a production that became notorious for its poorly executed CGI.
Oh my god. Did you see that? Look at that.
Became notorious for its poorly executed CGI.
Oh my god, it's so bad.
Critics seized on the film as one of the worst of the year, and some singled out Corden's performance as particularly jarring, calling it distracting and unfunny in the context of an already troubled project. Adding insult to injury, Corden publicly refused to watch the film after its release and joked about its failure on his own show, a move many saw as disrespectful
it was
to
terrible.
the cast and crew who worked hard on the production.
They worked hard on it though. Yeah, that's right. Okay, no matter how bad a movie is, people work really hard on that shit. So you should give credit where credit is due. And he just kind of like, okay,
2020, he took on the lead role in The Prom, playing a gay character despite being straight, and his exaggerated, caricatured performance was widely condemned as stereotypical and offensive, particularly by members of the LGBTQ community who felt his portrayal perpetuated harmful cliches. Despite the overwhelmingly negative reviews, the Hollywood Foreign Press Association nominated Corden for a Golden Globe for Best Actor in a Musical or Comedy Film, a decision that sparked outrage and led many to question the motives and standards of the HFPA. Moreover, as Corden's face began appearing everywhere from TV to film to awards shows, some viewers expressed fatigue, feeling he was overexposed and perhaps undeserving of the lofty platform he'd been given. For instance, during the Friends Reunion special in 2021, viewers questioned why Corden was hosting, arguing he had no personal connection to the iconic sitcom.
Yeah, why? Unless he's like a huge fan of it, why would he be hosting the show at all?
That producers chose him for his fame rather than ability to evoke genuine nostalgia.
They chose him for his fame, for sure, 100%.
In early 2022, viewers began noticing that Corden's monologue jokes occasionally echoed bits from established comedians. One notable instance involved
Ricky Gervais
about guitar lessons that closely mirrored a Ricky Gervais routine, a striking similarity that led Gervais to tweet about the incident, calling out the word-for-word overlap. Corden responded by saying he inadvertently used the joke and gave Gervais credit, but critics argued this reflected poorly on the show's writers, or Corden himself, raising questions about originality and...
Do your research, and if you're going to copy something, give credit, okay? You need to actually give credit where credit's due. This is why when I react to stuff, I do a huge amount of credit. I say like and subscribe to the video. I put the links everywhere in the description to the channel. I at them at channel page, and I put the video link in the description. You gotta cite stuff. You gotta give people credit.
Oversight. The same month, Corden's most damaging incident occurred during dinner at Keith McNally's Balthazar restaurant in New York City. On Instagram, McNally called Corden a tiny cretin of a man and labeled him the most abusive customer he had seen in 25 years of running restaurants. According to McNally, Corden's first outburst occurred in June when he found a hair in his food and berated a manager, demanding free drinks and threatening a bad review. The second instance, in October, involved Corden's wife receiving an omelet with a broken egg yolk, prompting Corden to allegedly scream at waitstaff, demanding to speak with the manager and berating the employees loudly. These allegations were shocking to many given Corden's public persona, and McNally's post went viral, leading to widespread coverage and deepening the narrative of Corden as entitled and abusive. Corden later called McNally privately to apologize, which led to McNally lifting the ban, but Corden's subsequent New York Times interview was tone deaf. He insisted he had not done anything wrong on any level, a stance that McNally publicly ridiculed and prompted a scathing second social media post. In the fallout, Corden addressed the incident on The Late Late Show, offering what some called a weak apology, denying he yelled, used profanity, or called names, and pleading ignorance, saying he thought he hadn't done anything wrong. The public largely rejected this narrative, noting years of similar stories and seeing his apology as defensive and insincere, further damaging his credibility. The Balthazar incident acted as a catalyst for other allegations to resurface. Reports emerged of Corden ignoring his wife's pleas for help with their child on a transatlantic flight, leaving her to struggle for hours while he engaged with onlookers instead of assisting.
Jesus, is that true, dude? That's insane. What a dude. What a bastard, man.
Burger, a waitress at Little Dom's restaurant in Los Angeles, claimed she witnessed Corden yelling at a busboy who tried to add
I wouldn't put that beside him.
She believed would compliment his
I would be
omelet.
surprised.
According to Habersberger, Corden snapped, "A lot of good that does me," mate when the busboy offered help. Craig Duncan, a television director who worked with Corden on A League of Their Own, described a nightmare experience, calling Corden the most difficult and obnoxious presenter he ever worked with, recounting scenes where Corden berated writers for jokes not landing and interrupted crew meetings with profane tirades. Duncan's anecdotes included a rehearsal where Corden became enraged because a joke missed its mark, and he demanded immediate rewrites, and a wrap-up meeting where he shouted, "What the is going on here? It's so obvious how you shoot it. It's stupid," effectively delaying filming for hours. Though
everybody hates a backseat driver, man. I feel like James Corden's like the backseat driver of the film world.
Duncan acknowledged Corden's criticism was technically correct.
It's correct, but you have to be a dick about it.
That undermined collaboration and resulted in wasted time. Duncan concluded by saying he hoped never to work with Corden again, evidence of the lingering resentment. As these accounts spread, they painted a consistent picture of Corden as a talented performer who often treated those around him poorly, further widening the gap between his on-screen kindness and off-screen cruelty. In light of the mounting controversies and negative publicity, ratings for The Late Late Show began to decline, and the once dominant viral clips attracted significantly less attention. By early 2023, industry insiders reported that Corden's digital dominance was waning as audiences grew tired of his segments and critics questioned whether his approach
things will get old after a while, for sure.
On April 27,
If you don't evolve.
2023, Corden announced he would leave The Late Late Show
Is he
later
gone
that year,
by now?
framing his departure as a desire to spend more time with his family, a reason he stated on his final show by saying, "There are too many signs here telling us to go home." Observers widely speculated that the barrage of controversy, particularly the Balthazar incident and resurfaced allegations, played a significant role in CBS's decision not to renew his contract, even if the network publicly praised his contributions. His final episode in April 2023 featured star guests Harry Styles and Will Ferrell, and included one last Adele carpool karaoke, a star-studded send-off that nonetheless lacked the cultural impact earlier finales had, symbolizing that the Corden era had lost its momentum. CBS chose not to replace The Late Late Show with another talk show, instead filling the time slot with reruns of the music performance series After Midnight.
Oh, so this is
underscoring
gone.
that Corden's departure marked the
Wait, The Late Late Show is gone? Hold on a second. Is it completely gone? Yes, The Late Late Show with James Corden is no longer on the air. It ended on April 7th. Oh, it's completely gone. I didn't know that. I thought it was like still ongoing. Okay.
end of an era for late-night TV. James Corden began his career as the ultimate nice guy, the singer, dancer, and comedian whose affable personality masked little of the ego or cruelty that would later surface. For years, he successfully maintained this facade through laughter, musical numbers, and heartwarming interviews, convincing millions that the person on their screens was authentic, forever climbing toward greater success. His undeniable talent as a performer, his timing, humor, and energy helped sell the illusion, making it easy for viewers to overlook or excuse the whispers that occasionally floated to the surface. Yet, as stories from staff and peers piled up, stories of entitlement, rudeness, and disrespect, no performance could hide the truth. And the dissonance between his on-screen charm and off-screen behavior became impossible to ignore. Ultimately, once his true nature was exposed, audiences, networks, and critics turned away, proving that Corden's greatest talent, his capacity to entertain, could not indefinitely shield him from the consequences of how he treated others. His story stands as a cautionary tale that no amount of talent or digital savvy can fully mask poor character, and once people see behind the curtain, it is often too late to reclaim the trust lost.
Okay, man, okay, Jesus. Yeah, James Corden is just a dick, okay? And nobody likes him, and he's not funny. And I just think that, like, it's kind of really a shame, because I think the ego got to him. I think the fame got to him and made his ego go out of control, and that's what brought him down. And it's just a real shame. Anyway, amazing video from the from Inside Flick, the downfall of James Corden. Be sure to go subscribe to him. I'm not signed in, so I can't. But go subscribe to him. Give him a like. I'll link his channel page and video in the description below. But guys, he only has 2.68K subscribers. That video just came out of this small channel. Insane. What an amazing video. You guys have to go show your support. Go check him out. It actually recommended on email. Got an email about a recommendation of this. It's a really good channel. I have some critiques for Inside Flick. Just a couple things, but just a friendly critique if you're willing. I thought the video was great. The thing is, one thing is, I think the audio. There's something about the audio. The voice is too low. So I think you need to, if you can, you need to bring your voice like here. Okay, so here's your video level, or your music and sound effects level, and here's your voice. Right now you're at like this with your voice, and here's your sound effects. I think you need to be like this. Okay, so like you can do. I don't know what you use to make your videos, but I use OBS. But your mic always needs to be a lot higher than the actual the sound effects and music. So if you can, because it was kind of hard to hear, so I had to bring up the volume a lot on my end. But if you can, I think you should definitely increase your mic volume and then decrease the sound effects music volume. It's a little bit too loud. Yeah, if you do that, it'd be really good. Also, I think you need to the script. It's really good script, but I could hear you fumbling a bit. So maybe before you do the video, I don't know what your process is, but I would suggest to read your script 3 times before you actually film the video. Then you can be more coherent and clear when you speak. Because I did hear some pauses, or if you can't avoid them, just edit them like to bring them close together with cuts and ripple delete. And yeah, I think other than that, some of the footage was a bit low quality, low res. So maybe get a little, if you could, yeah, get a little bit higher res. But if you fix the audio over everything, if you fix the mic thing, that's gonna 100% improve the video quality. But it was a really good video. I just wanted to give some critique there, but really good video. And thank you for the recommendation. Anyway, if you liked the video, make sure to smash the like button and hit subscribe. We also have memberships too. Go check out the join page on the channel, but it's always just free to subscribe. Check me out on Twitch too at twitch.tv/AugieG. We stream there all the time, and YouTube. But yeah, thanks for watching, and go check out Inside Flick. He only has 2.6k subscribers. Go show some support. The Downfall of James Corden was an amazing video. I'm sure he has some more amazing videos. But yeah, give him a like, subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Thanks. Bye.